Remember in the season opener of the 2024-2025 NBA season, Jayson Tatum dropped 37 points at home after the ring ceremony and had 8 3-pointers in that game. I think this is an accurate description of what Jayson Tatum can be when the shots are falling. I think Jayson Tatum has one of the highest ceilings and lowest floors in the NBA as a scorer. And the entire Boston Celtics roster has seen a major incline in three-point volume. Over the last few seasons, they averaged about 42 to 43 three-pointers per game and jumped all the way up to 49 per game in 2025. And in this change of scheme and philosophy for the Boston Celtics, that made a major change in Jayson Tatum's scoring game. And who am I to judge? The Boston Celtics won a championship and were a 60-win team in back-to-back seasons under this philosophy. The Boston Celtics made 5-out offense look incredibly easy. The second you got any bit of dribble penetration or advantages in 3-on-4 or 5-on-2 opportunities, they would have open threes for their 40+% three-point shooters. Let's look at a simple KP and JT pick and pop. KP gets the wide open three due to the advantage JT created and the spacers around the floor. You can see the same thing in this scenario here. JT gets dribble penetration against the zone, and that's the worst coverage to play against the Boston Celtics. Tatum was used as the main ball handler for the Boston Celtics consistently, and I understand sometimes being a 6'9" forward isn't the best answer to be the main ball handler for a team, but when you have that level of spacing for a team with a team like this in the Boston Celtics, who are the best three-point shooting team in the league, you could get away with a lot of different things. So the question I want to ask in this video is, why does Jayson Tatum struggle in the postseason over the past 2 seasons like he has been? Is it a change of shot diet? Is it a change of offensive scheme? Is it a change of philosophy? What is going on? We're going to compare how he played in prior postseasons and how he played as a scorer versus how he plays as a scorer now and how it carries over into the postseason. The Boston Celtics were your 2024 NBA champion, and I would say that this is a type of play style that we've never seen win at the highest level, but we've seen it before with the Golden State Warriors and even the Houston Rockets, who got all the way to the Western Conference Finals, but it seems like the Boston Celtics took it way too far with this method of play style. The Celtics built a team that perfectly complemented their 2 best players in Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, putting multiple three-point shooters that shot over 40%, guys like Kristaps Porzingis, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, and Sam Hauser. But with the scheme around the Boston Celtics changing, does that mean Jayson Tatum's scoring had to change with it? This season, Jayson Tatum finished top 5 in total three-point attempts per game, finishing at about 10.1 per game behind Anthony Edwards, who shot about 10.3 per game. In 23-24, Jayson Tatum shot 8.2 three-pointers per game, which would finish top 12. Over the course of the past 5 seasons, we've started to see Jayson Tatum's three-point volume go up more and more every season. In 2021, he had about 7.6 three-point attempts per game. In the 21-22 season, he was about 8.6 three-point attempts per game. In 22-23, at about 9.3 per game. At 23-24, he was about 8.2 per game. In 24-25, he was at 10.2 per game. I want you guys to watch these 2 clips very closely. As you can see, there are multiple positive shooters spaced out along the perimeter, and given this level of shooting, it shows why it was so easy for the Celtics to get the switch. Jayson Tatum has the slower footed big and just pulls up for 3. Nobody talks about it because the shot went in. But now let's take a look at Jayson Tatum's very next three-point attempt. Here he gets the screen from Al Horford and creates the switch pretty easily because of all the spacing on the floor. With the slower-footed Luka Doncic, he pulls up for 3 again, and this time he doesn't get the same result. Even in pick and roll coverages, I feel as though Jayson Tatum has turned into a much heavier jump shooter out of this coverage. Once he takes the screen from Al Horford, it seems like even when someone meets him at the level at the three-point line, he's taking the shot instead of splitting the pick and roll and getting downhill. Even in this possession where he gets the smaller defender meeting him at the level in pick and roll, which is what the Celtics are designed to do by getting the screen from Jaylen Brown, he gets the smaller defender in Jalen Brunson and doesn't attack. He just rises up for the jump shot. And just 2 years ago, Jayson Tatum's first option was not to shoot out of pick and roll. Getting to the rim was almost effortless for Jayson Tatum with the size, strength, and athleticism, and finishing over taller defenders like we see here. And I do think Jayson Tatum's best scoring season was in 2022-2023. Yes, he was still a very good three-point shooter, but when you add in that level of downhill ability, the level to cut to the basket at the level he did, to be a primary ball handler, to finish in tough spots, have different angles and counters when he does get to the rim, I would factor all that in saying he was his best as a scorer in that season. He averaged 30 points per game on 61% true shooting. In 2023, Jayson Tatum averaged 27 points per game on 59% true shooting. He was still a plus level rim finisher and a very good mid-range shooter. The only thing that went down is, you guess it, the three-point shooting. And I think a lot of this has to do with, one, Jayson Tatum taking a lot of three-pointers off the dribble. In that postseason run, Jayson Tatum shot 35% from three on 5 pull-up three-point shots a game. Not only was Jayson Tatum great as a downhill player, but there were so many different opportunities he had to get to the rim. There was playing as a cutter, as a transition player, as an on-ball downhill threat, and as a roller in the pick and roll. Jayson Tatum has the size to be very effective around the rim, to be extremely hard to stop, especially when he gets a head steam downhill. He still provides a lot of value at that spot, but I don't know why it was taken away to become more of a jump shooter. And this is not me saying that Jayson Tatum doesn't regularly go to the rim. He just attacks smaller mismatches much more back then than he does now. And I truly think Jayson Tatum could get back to this level of scoring once he gets back from injury. And I truly think that this level of scoring from Jayson Tatum we've seen over the past 2 seasons is much due to what the Boston Celtics provided as an entire unit and the philosophy that they brought through basketball over the past 2 years. And the reality of the situation is, you're not going to find much regular season teams that have that level of shooting throughout all 5 positions. They had multiple 38 to 41% level shooters in Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, Derek White, Kristaps Porzingis. Al Horford could be a really good shooter at times as well. And I don't think the Boston Celtics are going to be able to replicate that this season coming up or even the following season. And I think that they're probably going to replicate what they did in 2022, which was prioritize defense and physicality and have more ball handlers than just Jayson Tatum. And I think coming with that roster, I think Jayson Tatum may not have to shoot as much threes as he has in regular seasons in the past. But that's just my thought process. Maybe Jayson Tatum goes back to the scoring we saw in 2022 and in 2023 with the added level of passing and versatile defense, and the Boston Celtics can be what we've seen in the past. I'm not saying these past 2 seasons of Boston Celtics basketball has been underwhelming or bad, but I do think this helps Jayson Tatum's scoring with him not taking as much pull-up jump shots. If you guys like this type of content, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at ATBSports1. Make sure you guys follow me on TikTok at TheBuzzerENT. And make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at TheBuzzerSports_. Make sure you guys join my playback room where we're going to be watching multiple historic games throughout the offseason at TheBuzzerSports. And with all that being said, I will see you guys next time. Peace.